It's definitely something we've worked on the off season with Kinsey. She's very capable of attacking and being a threat for us as an offensive player, and obviously with the not so much experience in the middle, that's going to be important. I think what I like about Kinsey right now is she's really pushing the envelope with the middles. She's challenging them to make sure they're on time, making sure that they're part of our offense. Even though they're not big swingers right now, finding areas of the court. Because obviously if we can't run our middle, if teams don't think we're running our middle, we're going to be a very easy team to defend, and it puts a lot of pressure on our pins. But, I think, Heather has done a great job, and I think just the biggest difference between the two right now is Kinsey's a little bit more experienced, and then Kinsey is also much more more comfortable, I guess, running the middles, even though they might not be as experienced, and her connection has been pretty good with those middles as well. So, but yeah, offensively, she's really worked hard to step that up. She's got, I would say, probably 3 areas of the court that she can attack really well, and we're working on a couple more.
You mentioned Erica too, how she's a captain for you last year. She comes in with very little experience, really start to feel it toward the end of the year. Just that progression from last year to this year. How are you? I shouldn't say surprised by it, but how excited are you to see that and see what's going to happen this year with her?
With Erica?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of those kids that you root for. She's, again, one of the most competitive kids that we've had go through our program. Just somebody that no matter what the practice is, whether it's conditioning or on the court, she's always giving 100%. So it's really fun to see her evolve as a volleyball player. I kind of looked at her as just that gruff, not a lot of finesse type kid that she's just going to go up and whale the ball every time. Doesn't matter if it's 20 feet out of bounds but she's really matured in her game, understanding the game a lot more, being able to, I guess, perfect her arsenal, so it's not just all about swinging hard. She's able to throw in shots, which we definitely need, obviously. But I think that's the part that I'm most excited for her. She's, somebody that's going to be able to play all the way around for us, which is huge. She's not done that in the past for us, so very capable of having a good attack out of the back row, which will be very important for us as well.
With that, you said his hip flexor, that's something that can linger. Do you have some expectation how long she's out or how long you have to rest her? Or?
Nothing yet. It just, she just was injured this morning, so not a lot of information yet. But, she's a tough kid, so, she's going to get back. I guess the best way to put it is as soon as she can. But it's one of those that you don't like to have because, like you said, it can linger. But, we have a good training staff, so we'll get her back as soon as she can be back.
You said you think that there's 6 teams in the conference that could vie for that title. How big is it to host the conference tournament here, and how much of an advantage is that?
Yeah, that's something we're extremely excited about too. I think it's going to be a huge advantage this year, and partly for us because of all the awesome support we get. We're not just getting an opportunity to play on our home court, but we're getting an opportunity to play in front of a lot of great fans, and I think that's more important than actually even being on your home court. So very pumped that during what we know is going to be one of the most competitive conference races, and meaning that conference tournament, which is actually our automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, to be at our home in front of our home crowd is huge. And I thank our administration for bidding for that, because they don't have to do that, and they do a good job of making sure they do that every year. And fortunately, we're voted. This is Erica's 3rd conference tournament at home, which is unheard of. I know. We're not making any friends in the conference, I can tell you that, but that's okay.
Just 2 home non-conference matches. How tough is it to get teams to come in here and play you, or is that by design you want to go on the road and face tough non-conference?
Definitely not by design. I'd love to be at home. So that's one of the things, Gary, this tournament that we're in with Kentucky and USC and Creighton, one of the reasons we did that, it's a 4-year deal, so next year those teams are coming to the McLeod Center for a tournament. So I have found that was our first way of getting teams to come here. We're in a deal where we're playing them 4 years in a row, but I can't wait to be able to have that caliber of team. First of all, any team to come in a tournament atmosphere. So it's interesting, how we can't get people to come. I think some teams feel like it's a no-win situation to come here, because they've heard a lot about our atmosphere, which, my thing is we want to go to places that have that kind of atmosphere, whether they're for or against you, playing in front of a crowd like that. I mean, that's what it should be for everyone, having that opportunity. So we're working on it, even to get the midweek matches that we have been a struggle. I mean, Iowa State, it's awesome because they're willing to do the home and away with us, which I thank them a lot for that because they really don't have to do that either. So, and then we did the home and away with Northern Illinois too. So we always try every year at least to get a home and away in the midweek matches, but we're shooting for a tournament every year. So.
You mentioned your middles, your setters, your outsides. How's the defense looking? I know that's probably the youngest area for you last year. You got, Amy working with the outsides, who's kind of filling out that defensive spot for you. And you got Haley and.
Yeah, I really am excited about our backcourt. Amy, obviously, our libero last year, is improved a ton in just her confidence in what she's doing out there. So she'll be even much improved from what she did last year. Haley, a captain for us, is doing a good job of even taking control more, because that's what we were missing a little bit last year, of just somebody kind of taking control of the situation. And then Ashley Sinnott, again, she's been doing both pin and as a DS for us. Really happy with her and proud of her. Again, another kid that, just the effort level. She's, to me, that Ellie Blankenship where she's going to keep a ball alive that you don't think is possible to keep alive. She's that kind of player. So just need to work a little bit more serve receive with her so we can get her in the passing rotation each time. But I'm just really happy with our backcourt. And again, it's tough because they're training, two of those kids are training front row too. So, that takes away obviously reps from their backcourt, but they've done a really good job of spending a little extra time with the passing and defense.
You mentioned, Kinsey and Heather. You mentioned Heather a little bit. Is there a possibility both Heather and Kinsey could see the court? The two-setter system, or am I pretty reaching?
You never know. But like right now, I would say just partly we don't have the pins for that, unless Kinsey or Heather would, work as an attacker for us, which, that could be a possibility. They don't do too bad. But, right now I think we're, because of the rest of our team, our fit is more the 5-1. So.
You mentioned Jaden before last year. Had Kinsey transferring for I don't know how many transfers you've had, and is that something new you've been doing, looking for some of those transfers because you've had to, replace 14 where you can't rely on filling with all freshmen. Do you have to look for more of the transfer route?
Yeah, unfortunately in the sport of volleyball, it's become a little bit more prevalent to transferring has, I think over the last few years has really become more prevalent. But, it's not something we're always looking for. It's usually to fit a situation or a need. And both, we're fortunate to have Kinsey and Jaden, but, we weren't actively seeking that until a situation arose, I guess is the best way to put that. So, but it's definitely happening a lot more. We have a little bit different rules. You can play right away, so I think that's increased that a little bit over the years. And I think part of it is the early recruiting. Kids are making decisions a lot earlier now, so maybe making them a little bit when they're, when you make a decision as a freshman or sophomore, you change a little bit by the time you're a senior. So I look at that maybe being something that continually happens is the transferring.
How weird was it not to be at the NCAA tournament for the first time in over 8 years?
Weird is not the word. Disappointing, just, felt not right. It's definitely a goal of ours, and it's tough. It's tough, and I feel, no team wants to be that first team after 8 years to not make it to the NCAA tournament. And, it was a great group of kids that, really exceeded expectations in a lot of ways, but still didn't reach that ultimate thing that you're looking for to make that NCAA tournament. So while I think they had a really great year and did a lot of wonderful things, it obviously felt like something was still missing. So it's more of an empty, definitely don't like it kind of feeling.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.